Welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays, and whatever holiday you celebrate, may it be the best ever. I want to say welcome to my new viewers and new subscribers. It's morning here in the Philippines. It's already Christmas morning. Good evening to my subscribers in America and beyond. Your kindness, your generosity, your support of my channel has been overwhelming. And I can never pay you back for that. You know, it's really humbling. It's flattering. You know, I'm boots on the ground here. I'm in the center of all this, and it's for your benefit. I live among the locals, and I'm always going to give you the nitty-gritty. That's just exactly what I'm seeing, what I'm living, and what I'm experiencing. I'm never going to sugarcoat that, and it's not going to start today. You know, I've had a lot of new viewers and a lot of new subscribers here lately. And, you know, bad being Christmas, a time of reflection, a time of thanks, they've asked me to tell my story. You know, how did I end up in the Philippines and why the Philippines? And I'm going to do that in a general way over the next few minutes. But just to give you a little context, I decided back in July of 2008 that I was coming to the Philippines. But I didn't know I was going to end up retiring here and living here. It was just something that I wanted to do. It became an obsession. I didn't even have the money at the time, you know, but I didn't let that stop me. And I always tell people that, you know, as long as you got an imagination, man, you know, use that. And it became an obsession, man. Every time I'd go on an insurance appointment, I'd think about the Philippines. Whenever I'd go to the gym, be working out, the Philippines would be at the forefront of my mind. And about 7 months later, I ended up, you know, I had the money. I could have bought 2 or 3 people with me. I ended up going to Cancun first by myself for 10 days. Because I was looking to escape, man. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't looking really to retire, but I was looking to escape. And I'll give you a little context real quick of where my mind was at the time when I finally got here. In June of 2008, I had a 19-year-old nephew. He was murdered. Okay. July 2008, my brother-in-law died of AIDS. September 2008, my first cousin, only first cousin I've got on my mother's side, committed suicide. Fast forward, February 2009, February 1st, 2 nephews, one age 4, one age 9, died in a house fire. Then 2 weeks later, one of my favorite nephews, who actually lived with me for a time, he died of a heart attack. He was 36. So in the span of 9 months, I lost 6 very close male members of my family. And I tell you what, it kicked in this, what people call a midlife crisis, man. It ignited it. I mean, I was already feeling closed in. I already knew that I had more years behind me than I had ahead of me. And man, I tell you what, I started thinking real crazy. But now I know what it was. It was the daily stresses of life building up. It overloaded my system, man. And I started acting strange, man. I went out and bought a brand new convertible. Started having a desire for younger women. You know, I was already at the end of my divorce. I probably could have fixed it. But by this time, my wife was too old for me. She was 38, and I just didn't want that anymore. And you know, I had a small insurance agency, man, and I tell you what, I got this big contract with this new company, Essence Healthcare, and I was earning more money than I ever dreamed of earning, man. And I just decided, you know, I just wanted to get away from Louisville, Kentucky. I wanted to get as far away from America as I possibly could. I went to Cancun. That wasn't far enough. I had a wonderful time. And I made my first trip here in April of 2009. And I tell you what, guys, that's what I tell you about. All the experience that I have goes into my videos, and I always tell you that. I'm not giving you something that somebody told me. This is stuff I've lived, stuff I've experienced. And I got here, the plane arrived in Cebu, Moncton Airport, about 1 a.m. in the morning, man. And the beautiful woman's waiting on me. She's got a big sign, you know, welcome to the Philippines, Calvin. And I was done, man. You know, I knew, I said, you know, I didn't know how, I didn't know when, but I knew I was going to live here, man. I mean, from the first time I was in the taxi on my way to to my hotel, you know, this place grabbed hold of me and grabbed hold of me tight. And I stayed here my first time 2 weeks, and my subsequent trips, I just expanded. Every time I came over here, I'd go to more remote places, I'd see more things, I'd meet more people. And you know, one lesson I learned that I always give guys, and that's why I was telling you, how old are you for real? And that's a legitimate question, because a lot of women over here, they don't have birth certificates. They were born from a midwife, and you know, she was the one responsible for filing the birth record. But one of the first women, because I've had 4 serious relationships over here. I've had 4 women that I've actually really got serious with. And the first one, she told me she was 22, and we were together for 6 months till I found out she was only 18 when I met her. Well, see, I drew the line, guys. Look, I'm not a saint, but I got to draw a line somewhere, and 18 was just too young. But her experience showed me how I wanted to live. She lived in the province in northern Mindanao. They lived along a stretch of white sand beach, and I was like, this is it. This is how I want to live in the Philippines. And at that time, I was about ready to buy a house there for about $7,000. I'm glad that I didn't do it. But it taught me so much about the culture, about the food, you know. And every trip that I made here eventually led to where I am today, you know. And it was in 2015 that I decided, you know, I had to come up with a plan where I could leave America for good and possibly never come back. And that's what I did. I started receiving renewal income from my insurance business. You know, not a whole lot, about $1,500 a month, a little bit more. And that's when I decided I was going to cut ties with America, and that's what I did. I came over here for good in 2018, and I've been here ever since, and it's the best decision I've ever made. I'm free now than I've ever been. I don't have that 30-year mortgage hanging over my head. I don't have the stresses of my insurance profession hanging over my head, because in the insurance business, guys, I don't know if you know or not, but it's one of the most stressful jobs you could possibly have. The only thing that saved me is I loved it so much. I loved helping people, but it's very stressful, and you could have the best month of your life, but come the first of the month, it starts all over again, and they don't care what you did that last month. And when I came over here in the Philippines for the first time, I had a small insurance agency, and it was doing very well. But all the pressure was on my shoulders, and I felt it. See, the payroll, the taxes, all the training, all the recruiting, all of that was on my shoulders. Now, I was paid very well for it, but I paid a price for it. I paid a price for it, yeah. It cost me almost everything. You know, it cost me my family. You know, it cost me my beautiful home I worked so hard for. Because I went into that midlife crisis, and I had to escape. And I was looking for a place. Luckily, I found the Philippines, you know, but every mistake that I could possibly make, I made it the first few times I came over here. And see, those mistakes have become my secrets I share with you. You know, I'm not a know-it-all. I'm not somebody, I'm not an expert. If I ever come off like that, I apologize, man. I'm just trying to be helpful, because if I would have had somebody that would have sat behind a camera and told me what to do, what not to do, what to look for, what, you know, the red flags, man, I would have been so happy And that's all I be trying to do. I don't want to discourage you from coming over here. I don't want to discourage you from dating Filipinas, man. I will never ever date another woman other than a Filipina. They're great women. But there's a lot of things, man, that I learned from coming over here, you know, about the games that they play online, because that's what I be telling you, man. I'm talking about the 3.5%. Everything I warn you about, it's about those women that are online. Because there's some beautiful women over here, man, but they're not online. You have to come over here to meet them. But I knew that I wanted to get away from that rat race over there. I knew I wanted to get off that hamster wheel, because that's what I was on, ladies and gentlemen. It started taking me, I started to have to work harder to maintain the lifestyle that I had. That old materialistic lifestyle, that's what I thought I wanted. I set out to accomplish that, and I did. But once I started earning the big money, I had the convertible, I had the nice house, you know, and everything like that, I thought to myself, man, is this all there is? There's got to be more to life than this. And I found my answer when I came here, man. The people here, they treat me so well. I mean, I'm treated like a celebrity here. I mean, even now, 11 years later, it's the same way. Yes, sir. No, sir. How can we help you, sir? They roll out the brightest red carpet for me here. The love, the kindness, and respect I received here, I've never received at home in my whole life. I've never received in America. So, you know, I just decided to stay. You know, I said, you know, I don't have nothing to lose. Everything to gain. If things don't go the way that I want them to go, I'll just get on the plane and go back. Well, see, I haven't had to do that. You know, the little $1,500 that I earn here from my residuals, if I were living in America, I would still have to work. That would only cover my mortgage, that $1,500. It wouldn't cover my electric bill, the water bill, food, you know. And all my children in America are grown. My youngest daughter is a senior in high school. She's the only one that I really take care of over there. The rest of my kids, my oldest daughter, I've got two daughters that's 25. They're the same, by the same mother. All my daughters at home are by the same mother, but they were born 10 months apart. They're considered Irish twins. And then I've got a daughter that's 21. See, so they're already grown. They have their own families. They have their own jobs. Okay. So when I came over here, I wanted to get away from all that stress, all that strain. And pre-pandemic, man, this place was a paradise, man. I mean, for me, it was exactly what I needed. You know, the freedom here that I enjoy, it's unparalleled, man. You can't put a price on it. And that's why I'm still here. You know, is it safe? Absolutely safe over here. People don't bother. Yeah, there's about a 3%. You know, the Philippines has 7,641 islands. Okay? And it's vast. It's diverse. And I'd say 3% of that is the Badlands, where you don't want to go. But the rest of the places, man, it's a magical place. And it's because the people are so warm. They're so kind to you that you won't even believe it, man. They have so little, but they give so much. Okay? I've got 3 children over here now, so it gives me 7 children, man. But I wouldn't change a thing. If I had to do it all over again, I'd end up in the Philippines. Because I tried other places. I tried Mexico. It was just too close to the United States. It was a combination of things over here. The beautiful people, which includes the relationships I've had, the cost of living, the beautiful weather, you know, 365 days of sunshine. I mean, there's so much to do, so much to see in the Philippines. In my 11 years, I've only scratched the surface. I'm going to try island living after the pandemic is over with. I'm going to get away from it all. You know, in San Carlos, this is a beautiful place. It's very little traffic, but it's still the city. And I want to get away from that. I'm going to try the island living. If it doesn't work, I'll just come back here. But the friends that I've made here, you know, I've got some expat friends here that I would not trade for anything. To come to find out that, you know, people in America thought I was crazy for doing this. Now I look at them as being crazy for staying chained to that lifestyle over there. See, there's more to life than that. You know, in America, we only make up 4% of the world's population, but we want to control 100% of the narrative. No, there's life outside of America, guys. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You know, and for somebody like me over here, man, I'm not harassed, I'm not followed, I'm not looked at as a suspect. You know, I'm not feared. You know, people love me over here. And, you know, that's basically my story. I came here to escape the rat race, to get off the hamster wheel, to have some freedom. You know, for however many years I've got left. I don't know, I'm 57 now. You know, however many years I got left, I want to be on my terms. You know, I don't want to be tied to some job, tied to some mortgage. Okay? I've got insurance on me. If I die, my kids are going to be taken care of. I don't have to work hard and work my fingers to the bone, you know. And the Philippines has just been a blessing for me, man. You know, and I'm not religious. I'm just telling you, this place has been a blessing for me. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm as happy as I've ever been. And I'll probably live to be 80 if I stayed here. If I stayed at home, I'd probably be dead already. Either from a heart attack or stroke, or one of them fools over there shooting me in my back for nothing. Because in my hometown of Louisville, Kentucky, this little bitty country place, guys, let me tell you something. They're approaching 200 murders in 2020. Unbelievable. Can't believe it. It's heartbreaking. I've lost some family members to the violence. My daughter's, the father of my daughter's children, he was killed at 28 over some foolishness. You know, nothing's worth dying for. If you're not threatening my life or my family's life, it's not worth dying for. No amount of money, no amount of drugs, no property, nothing like that, guys. Okay? And that's why I love it here. And anybody that's listening out there that you feel tied down, whether you're in Europe, whether you're in the UK, Australia, New Zealand, America, look, you ain't got nothing to lose. That's what I operate on now. It's my principle here. When there's nothing to lose from trying and everything to gain if successful, by all means try. If it doesn't work, go back home. You know, the Philippines isn't for everybody, but for people like me, man, who can deal with the heat, who can deal with the language barriers, who can deal with being away from friends and family and a lot of the comfort foods, man, it's a utopia. This is the best place. I would never, I can't think of a better place to be right now for me. So I'm going to stop babbling. You know, I just wanted to give you some context of where I'm coming from. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thanks again for all my subscribers, your kindness, your generosity, your support of my channel. It's been amazing. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. If you're in America, it's getting late. If you don't want them late grocery runs, beer runs, weed runs, you come in from second shift and you see somebody on the street, buy them something to eat, buy them something to drink, give them a couple of dollars. If you're in the Philippines, it's early morning on Christmas Day. It's about 10 o'clock. We have the rest of the day to find somebody. Please find somebody to help, because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. We help other people, we help ourselves. Take care, stay safe, stay COVID free, and I'll see you next time.